you are new to this class or have never taken yoga before, this class is friendly for all experience levels. So I won't just call out names of poses and expect people to know what I'm talking about. I will build us up into a pose, talk about alignment. So if this is your first time, there's no sweat. This class is meant to be challenging, so take breaks if you need to. Some things might not feel right in your body, and that's okay. Don't practice poses if it just doesn't feel right. You know, your body knows, you know your body best, so always listen to your body throughout the practice. And I do want to remind you to always check in with your doctor before starting a new exercise plan as well. One last thing before we get started, for any of those who are new to yoga, I do like to point out at the end of our practice, we finish our practice in a final resting period, laying flat on our back with our eyes closed in stillness for 2 to 3 minutes. It can seem like a really long time if it's your first time, but I do encourage you to take the time and try it out. Stick with it through, because yoga is not just about what we do in our physical bodies. It is about our minds and what's going on the inside as well. We're gonna get started sitting down today. So start sitting facing towards the front of your mat. I'm gonna stay this way so you all can see me. We'll start with a loose butterfly pose. And so loose, don't draw the feet in really close if you're used to this pose. Bottoms of the feet together. Focus on finding length through the spine, out through crown of head. Hips wiggle back just a bit so the chest can come forward. And hands are wherever comfortable. Relax your shoulders down your back and gaze down towards the floor. All I need you to do here for the next few moments is breathe and bring your focus to your breath. Feel each little movement that the body makes as you're drawing breath into the body and as you exhale. Every time you inhale, seeing if you can find a little more length in the spine. Engaging the core just a bit, drawing it in closer towards the spine. Rise back up so spine is straight up towards the ceiling. Right hand crosses over to left knee into a gentle twist. Left hand can place down at your side and gaze over left shoulder. Allowing most of the twist to come from belly. Ribs and chest are secondary. Slowly unwind and twist to opposite side. Left hand crossing over to right knee. Unwinding, returning to face forward. Rounding the spine, dropping chin to chest. Slowly lifting and arching the spine, tilting head up to ceiling. Start the movement with your tailbone as you begin to round the spine again, dropping chin to chest. Tailbone leads the way as we start to lift and arch the spine, tilting head up. A few more times at your own pace. Use your exhale to round the spine and your inhale to lift and arch. Finding stillness with the spine upright. Drawing the heels a little closer to the body, getting a little more sensation in the hips. The closer you draw them in, the more sensation you'll feel. Press firmly into pinky edges of feet. Keep the spine nice and long. Shoulders relaxed down the back. We started off just warming up our core, opening up the hips a little bit. Take another few deep breaths for me here. Now separating the legs, opening them nice and wide, keeping the feet flexed, placing the fingertips directly behind you or slightly behind you, helping to find some length through the spine. Steep feet. Stay flexed. I almost said steeped. If the legs feel really tight here, you can put a gentle bend in the knee to find some ease. Core is still gently engaged. Spine stays long towards the ceiling as we stretch the inner thighs. If If you're pretty flexible and you want some more sensation, you can bring the hands to the front, hinging forward from the hips, leaning forward a bit as long as spine stays long. Everyone bring hands back to your sides. Draw the legs together. Bend right knee, placing foot to the mat. Let the knee fall out and down to the floor. Gently bend the extended leg, find length back through the spine. Lift both arms overhead and fall forward into Sharashasana. Dropping belly to thighs, hands fall down to the floor. Gaze is down towards your extended leg. Even here, core is engaged, spine is long, leading with the ribs and the chest. Relieving stiffness in the legs. Slowly rise back up and straighten the right leg. Left knee bends, foot to floor, knee falls to floor as well. Gentle bend in the extended leg. Draw the breath in. Lift both arms overhead. Engage your core and fall to Sharashasana. Dropping belly to thighs, gazing down towards the legs. Breathe in here. Slowly rise back up, straighten legs. So both are extended down the length of the mat. Then meet me in a tabletop position, coming to the hands and the knees, wrists stacked under shoulders and knees stacked under the hips. Fingers are spread nice and wide, distributing the weight through the entirety of the hand. Extend your right leg behind you, flexing the foot, toes face down towards the floor. Left arm extends forward into sunbird, gazing down towards the floor. Left thumbs facing up to the ceiling. Draw the belly in and flatten the back. We're working on our balance and we're starting to warm up our core a little bit more here. A little bit of wobbliness is okay. Just know that you're working on your balance. And now give me a crunch. Drawing knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Drawing the belly in, squeezing the breath out, and then inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch. Press the belly towards the spine. Inhale. One more time, knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Extend. Bring the hand and knee down to the mat. Extend left arm up to the ceiling and thread the needle, passing it through the space on the right, lowering all the way down to shoulder, bringing head to mat. And find a comfortable position with your right hand so right shoulder can relax a little here. Using the right hand, press yourself back to a tabletop position. Extend the left leg behind you and right arm into sunbird. Thumb face up to ceiling, gaze is down towards the mat, belly draws in. Hold it here, don't hold the breath. On your next exhale, give me a crunch, elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. 2 more. Bring me crunch. Inhale. Give me the last crunch here. Inhale. Meet me back to tabletop. Right arm lifts up to the ceiling as you breathe in through nose. Exhale out through mouth as you thread the needle, bringing elbow or shoulder down to mat, cheek to mat. Use the left hand to press yourself back in a tabletop position. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Right leg extends behind you again, this time pointing through the toes. Draw belly in to help flatten the back. Giving me a tabletop crunch, drawing the right knee in towards your chest, squeezing the belly towards the spine, lifting the knee as high as you can. Inhale as you extend the leg behind you. Trying that again. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, leg extends. Last time, tabletop crunch, knee to chest. Draw belly in, then step or place the foot into lunge. Ankle right below the knee, foot in between the hands. Draw breath in through nose as you lift right arm up to ceiling, drawing belly in, gaze up to ceiling. Exhale out through mouth, fingertips come down to floor. As you draw in for the next time, really squeeze the belly in as you draw the breath in. Breathing in through nose, drawing belly towards the spine, looking up towards the ceiling. Slowly exhaling out through mouth, fingertips to floor. Last time, deep breath in, keeping right foot flat to mat. And exhale. Extend the right leg long behind you, point through the toes, keep the leg active, and return to tabletop. Left leg extends, heel in line with hip, pointing through the toes, draw belly in. Next exhale, giving me tabletop crunch, knee to chest, draw the belly in. Inhale to extend. Exhale to 2, knee to chest. Inhale to extend. Last time, knee draws to chest, holding here, then stepping or placing the foot into lunge. Inhale through the nose, lifting left arm up to ceiling, drawing belly in. Exhale out through mouth, fingertips to floor. 2 more times, breath in to lift the arm, finding the twist. Exhale, hand lowers. Last time, nice deep breath in through nose, nice and slow, draw it out. Exhale out through mouth, fingertips to floor. Extend the left leg long behind you, pointing through toes, and return to tabletop position with hands flat to mat. Settle back to child's pose, hips coming all the way down to the heels, forehead resting to the mat. Separating the knees to make a little space for your belly, and taking a few breaths here to finish our warm-up. Child's pose, this position here is option 1 for your rest position anytime during the class. You don't have to wait for me to cue it. You can hop in a child pose at any time and then jump back in the class if you're feeling tired. If you're not feeling comfortable in this pose, try puppy pose, lifting back to tabletop, then lowering elbows down to mat, stacked under shoulders, and head hangs heavy. Either one can be your rest position. We'll take another few moments here. Deepen the breath, breathing into the back side of the body. Then meet me back in tabletop and lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me 1 tabletop crunch, knee to chest. Lift that knee really high and step or place the foot into lunge. Right toes tuck onto the mat, lifting up to pointer and middle finger only, lifting right knee into the air, sending chest forward, drawing belly in. Stepping up to half lift, right foot steps up to the top of the mat, hands to shins, flattening the back, gazing down towards floor. Lowering to forward fold, gently bending the knees, dropping belly to thighs, stretching the crown of head and hands down towards the floor. Tuck your chin in towards your chest, and 1 vertebrae at a time, start to round your spine up to a standing position. Let your chin come up from the chest last, and really take your time here. Once you make it up to standing, give me a deep breath in through nose, lifting arms out at your sides, up overhead, gaze up to ceiling. Exhale, hands together, down through heart center, and lowering arms down by your sides. So now we're going to move into the bulk of our practice. I'm going to start by demoing a plank sequence. Every week there's a new sequence, so I demo first, and then we'll tie it into the class together. So as the name suggests, we're going to be starting in a plank position. Even if you've taken plank 1,000 times, the first time you get down there, I want you to check your alignment. Wrist under shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide. Stepping back, heels in line with hip, in line with shoulders, and total body's engaged. My shoulders, my arms, my legs, my glutes, my core. We'll start here. I'll always give a countdown, something like we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. We're going to lower to forearm plank, elbows to mat. Same thing with alignment, elbows under shoulders, and come back up to plank. 1. Back down, and up. 2. Back down, and up. 3. And then the last time, we'll hold our forearm plank for another 5 seconds here, then lower down to our belly and continue the sequence from there. If your wrists start to feel a little sensitive, you can take plank on your fist instead with thumbs facing one another. So we're going to tie this into our sequence. We'll start with our feet hip width distance apart, standing at the top of our mat with purpose, turning palms forward, relaxing shoulders down the back, standing nice and tall. Slowly lift the arms out in front, up overhead, gaze up to ceiling. Lower to forward fold, bringing hands together, lowering down through heart center, hinging forward from the hips, gently bending knees, dropping belly to thighs, arms and head hang to the floor. Rise to half lift, flattening your back, hands to shins, gaze to floor. Step back into a plank position, bending the knees so you can plant the hands. Take a look back at your alignment and we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Forearm plank, high plank. Forearm plank, high plank. Last time, come down, back up, come down, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Tops of feet to mat, chest to floor, hands under shoulders and elbows up to ceiling. Press your hip points into the mat, draw your belly in to lift your chest off the mat into baby cobra. Gaze is up to ceiling, shoulders reach behind the heart. Now pressing yourself to child's pose, hips all the way back to heels, forehead to mat. Or puppy pose if that was more comfortable for you with elbows to ground. Take a deep breath or two here. Fill the body with breath. And meet me back in a tabletop position, lifting up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, stepping or placing the foot into lunge. Left toes tuck onto the mat. Lift up to pointer and middle finger. Lift left knee into the air, sending chest forward. Stepping up to half lift, feet together, hands to shins. Lowering to forward fold, gently bend knees, belly makes contact with thighs, arms and head hang. Tuck chin into chest and slowly round the spine, up to standing. We're going to do that same thing again, lifting arms out in front, up overhead, gaze up. Lowering to forward. Hands down through heart center, belly drops down to thighs. Rise half lift, flattening your back. And stepping into your plank position. Starting our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Come down, lift up. Come down, lift up. Come down, lift up. Lower down and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down, tops of feet to mat, hands under shoulders. Press hip points into mat, draw belly in, lift the chest, breathe in, baby cobra, and exhale to your rest position. Child's pose, hips to heels, or puppy pose, elbows to mat. Deepen the breath. And meet me back in tabletop, hands and knees. Lift up to tips of fingers. Extend the left leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch into lunge, foot in between the hands. Lift up to pointer and middle finger. Lift right knee. Step up to half lift, hands to shins. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs. Don't be afraid to gently bend the knees. Tuck chin into chest and slowly rise up to standing. One last time through. Inhale to lift the arms overhead. Exhale out the mouth, lowering to forward fold. Nice slow movement. Inhale, half lift, flatten your back. Exhale as you step back into plank. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Come down, rise up. Come down, rise up. Come down, rise up. Last time down. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. All the way down, hands under shoulders. Inhale, lifting chest to baby cobra. Exhaling to child's pose. Rise right back to tabletop and lift up to tips of fingers. Extend the right leg behind you. Draw knee to chest and step the foot into lunge. Step up to half lift, hands to shins, back is flat, gaze is down to the floor. Lower to forward folds, let belly meet thighs. Tuck chin into chest and start your slow roll up to a standing position. Inhale, lifting both arms overhead. Exhaling back to fold, belly to thighs. Inhale, half lift and hold here. Start to gently bend one knee and then the other, switching back and forth. Left knee stays bent. Right arm lifts up to ceiling into twist, drawing the belly in. Gazing up towards the ceiling. Squeezing belly back towards the spine. Squeezing sides of body closer together. Returning to half lift, hands to shins. Bend the knees a few times, back and forth. Right knee stays bent, left arm lifts up to ceiling. Holding here, squeeze belly in. And return to half lift, hands to shins. Step your right foot back into a lunge position, bringing your fingertips down to the mat. Left knee stacked over the ankle or on the ball of the right foot, drawing belly in, sending chest forward. Bring hands to the thigh, then extend the arms overhead to frame the ears in high lunge. Hips are square towards the front of the mat, hugging the ribs close in towards the body. Pressing actively out through right heel. Left knee tracking towards pinky toe. Breathe into the chest and relax shoulders away from ears. Open to warrior two, turning to face the right side of the mat. Right heel rotates down to touch the floor, arms lower to shoulder height. Left knee is still stacked over the ankle. Left heel intersects the arch on right foot. Hips and shoulders face long edge of the mat, gazing out over left hand. Lower down to side angle by bringing left elbow down to thigh, right arm frames the ear, twisting and lifting the chest up towards the ceiling as you gaze up to ceiling, engaging the core. Rise back to warrior two. Straighten the forward leg for a little bit of a break. Find reverse warrior, left arm up to ceiling. Get a nice side stretch on the side of the body. Return to warrior two. Side angle, elbow comes down, right arm frames the ear. Twist and lift the belly and the ribs up to the ceiling. Meet back in warrior two. And windmill arms down to lunge, lifting right heel back off the mat. Step back into your plank position and we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Come down, rise up. Come down, rise up. Come down, rise up. Last time down, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go. Tops of feet to mat. Deep breath in, lifting to baby cobra, shoulders wrapping behind the heart. Exhaling to your rest position, puppy pose or child's. Deep in the breath here. A little bit of a rest before we finish up the opposite side. Inhale to meet me back in a tabletop position. Lift up to tips of fingers. Extend right leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a tabletop crunch, knee to chest, into lunge. Inhale as you step up to half lift, hands to shins. Exhale as you meet me in forward fold, belly to thighs. Try to draw the inhale out as you rise up to standing. Then exhale at the top. Inhale, lifting both arms overhead. Exhale, lowering to forward fold. Inhale, rise, half lift. And start to bend one knee and then the other, switching back and forth. Left knee says bent, right arm up to ceiling, into a twist, gaze up to ceiling. Meet me back in half lift, hands to shins. Start to bend the knees, one knee and then the other. Right knee stays bent, left arm up to ceiling, end to twist. Squeeze sides of bodies together, squeeze belly back to spine, and meet me back in half lift, hands to shins. Step the left foot back to lunge, bringing fingertips to floor. Right knee stacked over ankle on the ball of the left foot. Hands come to the forward thigh, arms extend overhead into high lunge. Tuck ribs in. Right knee tracking towards pinky toe. Hips square to the front. Deep breath. Open warrior two, facing the left side of the mat, left heel down, arm shoulder height, right knee over the ankle. Pinky edge of the left foot should be lined up with the short edge of the mat. Lower down to side angle, elbow comes down to thigh, left arm frames the ear, find the twist up to the ceiling. Come back to warrior two. Straighten the leg, reverse warrior, right arm up to ceiling, draw the belly in, take a breath or two. Meet me back in warrior two, knee bends, arms at shoulder height, and lower to side angle, elbow down, free arm frames the ear, find the twist to the ceiling, draw in the belly. Return to warrior two, and windmill down to lunge, hands down to mat. Step back into plank, and we'll take our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Lower down, rise up. Lower down, rise up. Lower down, rise up. Last time down, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down. Deep breath in through nose, lifting chest to baby cobra. Exhaling to your rest position, hips to heels. Deep in the breath. Rise up to a tabletop position, lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, point through the toes. Give me a tabletop crunch into a lunge position. Draw the breath in as you rise to half lift, hands to shins. Lower to fold, belly to thighs. Inhale as you slowly rise to standing. And exhale at the top. Stand nice and tall at the top of your mat. Bring your right arm up to the ceiling. Root down through your left foot. Drop left shoulder down towards the floor. And add a side bend. Holding here, lifting chin from chest. Core is engaged. Actively reaching out through right fingertips. Rise up to standing and lower your arm down by your side. Left arm comes up to ceiling, reach through the tips of the fingers, root down through right foot. Add a side bend, draw belly back towards the spine, holding here. Try not to let the lowered arm hold you up, instead your core is. We'll rise back to standing and lower arm down at our sides. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, drop chin to chest, and take a few moments of breath here. Just being present in your body, giving all your focus to your body as we start to slow down the practice. Lift your chin from chest and lower arms down at your sides. Give me a deep breath in through the nose, lifting arms overhead. Exhale to forward fold, belly meets the thighs. Rise half lift as you draw the breath in. Exhale as you step back into plank. We're gonna hold a plank for 20 seconds. It's up to you whether you wanna choose high plank or low plank. I think low plank is a little more difficult, and I'm gonna start counting 20, 19, 18. Don't hold the breath. You can lower down early at any time. You don't have to stay up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down to your belly, however you can comfortably get there. Lower arms along the sides of your body. Bring big toes to touch. Let heels fall away from one another. Turn your head to one side so you can rest on your cheek. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale out through your mouth, let everything go onto your mat. Maybe eyes gently close here. Wiggle the shoulders away from ears. Make a little space. Gently turn your head to the opposite side. Taking another few rounds of breath here. Bring your chin to the mat, place your hands underneath your shoulders, and for the last time, press yourself into your chosen rest position. Take a few deep breaths wherever you're at. Slowly meet me back in a tabletop position on the hands and the knees. Cross the ankles. Send the hips back towards the heels so you can come to a seated position and bring the legs forward. If that did not work for you, however you get to a seated position is fine by me. So I'll make sure we're sitting in the center of the mat, knees bent, feet to floor, hands placed on the back side of the thigh. Start to cave in the belly like someone punched you in your gut. And hold this curve as you slowly roll down onto your back. Nice, slow, and controlled, so we're engaging our core still, even as we find our way flat to the mat. Once your back is flat, draw both knees in towards the chest. Interlace the fingers, hold below the knees, and draw thighs close to body. Feet are side by side. If you feel any discomfort on the knees, you can hold on to the back of your thighs instead. Breathe into the sides of your body. Gently tuck your chin in towards your chest. And nice and slowly start to rock side to side. Release your hold so feet can return to the mat. Arms are along your sides, palms face down to the floor. Feet are hips width distance apart. If you can't touch the back of your heels with your fingertips, adjust your feet. Then bend the elbows so fingertips face up towards the ceiling. Pressing into the feet as well as the upper arms, we'll lift the hips off the mat into bridge pose, lifting chin from chest. Keeping the thighs drawing towards one another, core is engaged. We're strengthening our legs, strengthening our core, opening our chest. Slowly let the hips come back down to the mat. One more time. Pressing into arms and the feet, lifting hips, lifting chin from chest, holding here, not holding the breath. Lowering hips back down to the floor, drawing knees back in towards the chest, holding below the knees or on the back of the thighs. Another few breaths here. Place your hands on the back side of your thighs and extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Heels are lined up over the hips, and we'll hold here for our inversion. If you need some ease in this position, you can bend the knees, drawing thighs closer to body, but keeping the heels elevated. Still inducing relaxation, getting some fresh blood towards our heads. Let's stay here for another 25 seconds or so. Draw knees all the way in towards the chest, lower heels all the way down to the body. Place your arms out along the floor at shoulder height, palms face up towards the ceiling. Let your knees fall to the right side of the mat into reclined spinal twist as head turns to the left. I always suggest closing the eyes around this time, as this is our last pose before final resting pose. It's a way to prep the body for reflection and relaxation. Start to relax the muscles around the brow and separate the upper and lower jaw. Slowly draw the knees back to the center of the chest. Let them fall over to the left. Head turns to the right. The knees don't have to touch all the way down to the floor. Wherever they fall is fine. Slowly draw knees back to the center of the chest, drawing thighs close to body, holding below the knees or on the back of the thighs. Slowly lift your head to meet your knees. Take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, squeeze the body nice and tight, squeezing yourself into a tiny little ball. Slowly exhale out the mouth, let go of the body, lay flat on the mat and take up as much space as you can. Palms face up, eyes closed. Deep breath in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth and melt onto the mat. And draw your attention to the breath. Allow each rhythmic, dependable inhale and exhale move you into relaxation. Keeping your focus on every rise and fall of the belly or the chest. Recognizing that each time you inhale, you're breathing in a life force, breathing in energy. And as you exhale, you're releasing things that no longer serve you. If your focus has wandered, bring your attention back to your breath. Slowly start to deepen your breath. And start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, welcome movement back to your body. Gently roll over to the right side of your body and take a moment of stillness on your side, maybe using your arm as a pillow. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze lowered to the floor, gently press yourself up into any comfortable seated position. If you're not quite to seated yet, that's okay. Just keep an ear open so you know where we're headed. As always, to finish class, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together as one. That's breathing in through the nose, exhaling out through mouth. We're taking a 3-part breath today, so we'll break the inhale into 3 parts as well as the exhale. Breathing into belly first, then the ribs, finishing with the chest, exhaling from chest, exhaling ribs, exhaling belly. Let's all start on an exhale, pressing all the breath we have out of the body. Breathing in through nose, filling belly first, filling ribs, filling chest, exhaling chest, exhaling ribs, exhaling belly. Breath into belly, ribs, chest, exhale chest, ribs, and belly. Last time, breath into belly, into ribs, into chest, exhaling from chest, from the ribs, from the belly. Take a second to thank yourself for taking the time to have this practice today. I'd like to thank you for letting me lead you on this practice. There is a light that exists within me that honors and respects the light that exists within each and every one of you. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the class. I believe that this is the last class for the semester. There will be classes over the summer, but the schedule will switch up, so just keep an eye out for that. I do hope to see you guys next semester. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you enjoy your break if you're a student, and I hope to see you when you return.